When life happens, you're left with your inner spirit to make choices. These choices are choices that will man you or choices that will make you. But I tell people that positivity wins at the end of the day, no matter what goes wrong. Nobody is expecting negative vibes, but the truth is when it happens, embrace positivity. And that is the story of my guest today, one who I've hunted for a while. But today, he's on Against All Odds, and he's going to take us down memory lane. Chikwado, was he born blind? How has he been able to transform all the negative things around him to become positive? All these are questions that will be answered on this episode of Against All Odds. My name is Doshima Pius Ekeravi, and we will be back shortly. Don't go away. Don't go away.
This is Against All Odds.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is Against All Odds on the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. And yes, I have with me today in the house, Chikwado, popularly known as Chikwado. If you know how to speak Hausa, you will understand what I just said. This Chikwado name rings a bell, right?
Very well.
It's so good to have you on Against All Odds, like a dream come true. I've hunted you for a while now.
Thank you so much.
And yes, God has brought you right here for me.
I'm glad to.
Oh, yes.
I'm glad to meet you.
Tell us, we'll begin from the very beginning. How did this journey start?
Oh, great. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Chikwado Chukwu, also known as Chikwado, the voice of the voiceless. I'm a disability rights advocate and also accessibility tech consultant. But other people call me a blind poet just because I do write poems that has to do with blind people. Precisely, that was on the 30th of September 2007. I was 13 then. And I went to bed just like every other child. Waking up the next day being the 1st October 2007, the same year, to realize that my sight has gone. And it was very, very shocking. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I thought I was dreaming. Probably I had died and God was not punishing me somehow. But I was still hearing voices, familiar voices around. But I couldn't open up to anybody that I had lost my sight. Yeah, so it took me a long time, completely 7 days before I told anybody that my sight has gone. During that period, I was still using my senses to move around. Then I was in primary 6.
Wow.
And I had just written my last exams. I was also preparing to attend the Nigerian Independence Day because, as children then, they usually organize a special occasion for us.
Yes.
Nobody knew. I couldn't tell anybody because the time I used it as a joke to tell my brother that I could no longer see, and my brother slapped me, but thinking that probably I was doing something like that to joke. But I went back home and back to my room. I cried, I wept my tears. Then I decided to remain that way until on the 7th day, I was trying to step down the pavement, like the corridor of my house. I was then in the village, and that was how I think my left leg slipped, and that was how I fell. I was then on the ground crying. And people now came and were like, what is going on? I said that I could not see. Then I was now screaming that my eyes, I could not see. How long? for the past 7 days. But nobody believed me still. Because then I grew up as a very playful guy. I was used to play with almost everything, So even at that moment, my grandmother, my mom had died 3 years before. So my grandmom was like, what's the problem, my husband? And I said, Mom, I could no longer see. And I even stood up trying to find my way. I bumped into the wall. I hit the wall. And that was when everybody started crying. It was really a very terrible experience. It happened, boom. No premonitions.
Nothing.
No signs. No sickness. Nothing whatsoever. I just went to bed as every other child did. Waking up the next day to realize that my sight has gone. And that was how I lived my life. It's 18 years already. I usually celebrate myself every 1st October as a blind man.
You celebrate yourself with Nigeria. 18 years as a blind man.
Yeah, it's a blind one.
And that brings in a lot of positivity into your personality. Like, I met it was through your write-up. And in your write-up, I was like, this is a very positive person. And it doesn't even look like. That's why I asked you, are you a person with disability? Yeah. And you said yes. It was like, wow. So what actually built this level of positivity?
Nobody could actually count on a blind child because there was nothing I could offer. So I lost hope for everything, but I had one thing. I still have that zeal to succeed. But I never knew how that would happen without any formal education because all my primary school colleagues had long gone, been admitted to secondary school, and moving on was difficult. I was in the village, mom had died, and even if she was alive, there was nothing she could do because we were poor. Dad was alive and is still alive, of course. And he too was poor. Let me not use it because we have transformed. Yeah. So and he was poor. There was nothing he could do. Uncles, aunties, everybody were just struggling. So moving on was difficult. Then I had always wanted to go to school because when I lost my sight, I have always dreamed seeing myself playing in a school uniform. Though sad, I was still seeing myself in my primary school uniform.
Yeah.
I was thinking I would be seeing myself in a dream where I would see myself in a secondary school uniform with my parents. But that never happened. Not knowing that there was a hidden meaning to that. Until after 3 years, when I got a call from a boy in State Ministry of Women Affairs, and I went there. Somebody has submitted my name there, the former LGA chairman of my council. So submitted my name there, and they told me that they want to take me to Lagos. I said, what are you taking me to Lagos to do? They said, I want to send you to school to go and learn handwork. I said, handwork? I want to go to school. My heart started beating. I said, God, hope this will end well. Okay, fine. I went to Lagos. They took me to a school called Nigerian Fancraft Center for the Blind. Then formally situated at Ikeja Air Force Base. So I went there. The next day, I sent somebody to help me buy pen and book, exercise book, because they said after 2 days of our class, a blind man has sent somebody I had to go and buy pen, because I wanted to know how they are going to teach me, So of course they got me those items. We went there, only for me to realize that it's a vocational training center where they teach blind people how to learn certain skills and afterwards become self-reliant. So, and those stuff they were teaching them were something like all these household materials, insecticide, IPO, cream, liquid soap, bar soap, detergent, all of that. I will not lie to you. I even told myself I will not learn because this is not what I want. I want if they could introduce something to me that could make me read and write. But I also knew within myself that a blind person could not go to school. That was the mentality anyways. Because I've asked my uncles there in the village, so I is there anywhere I can go to school again? You know, say maybe not in this world. It's after I die and resurrect.
Well, that message.
That was my uncle. I cried actually as a child. Okay, fine. I proceeded. I started taking the class until I one day a teacher walked into the class, a blind woman then walked into the class and introduced herself as a Braille teacher. I didn't know what Braille was. I thought because I couldn't even speak English actually. I couldn't speak good English, but I could write. So I was hearing bread in my own ear. Like, it was later I went to ask, what is bread? He said, bread. Don't you know what is bread? I said, I don't. You told us about bread during the class yesterday, ma. He said, okay, Braille. I said, ma, call it again. I said, spell it. She now spelled it. I said, what is the meaning of Braille? He says the way or format where in which people who are blind or with low vision can still read and write and move on with their academic pursuit. I said, okay, if I learn that thing, will I still be able to read and write? I said, will they put something inside my eye? He said, no, you are going to use your finger. I became so curious. I could not sleep again because I think there was something that had now aligned with me that was coming ahead. So that was how I learned Braille. I started learning Braille with my hand with A, B, C, D to Z, 1, 2, 3 to 100. And I began to learn words, formation and all of that. And within a month and 5 days, I became a pro. And I was given an award because according to them, that was the first time. First time that a blind student came into this place and just used a month and 5 days to learn Braille. That Braille is a difficult thing to learn. That takes even a year or even more than a year to learn. So, but I learned within a short period of time. So, and then afterwards, I became curious. How could I forge on? I want to go to secondary school because I said, if I learn this, they will be able to make sure I go to school. And that was how I was in that same school and I took my national common entrance exams. And I applied to Federal Government College, Lagos. So afterward, I got some support from my government, state government and the local government, and I pursued my secondary education. It was when I got in there that I said, come on. So, but when I got into the school as a JS1 student, it was not easy because I was literally the oldest student in the entire school. Lagos children now, they are free to go to school. Yeah. So, and they were used to calling me uncle. They were used to calling me uncle. I started going JS already gradually. I was 19.
Really?
I was 19 in JS1, yes. And I started going beers gradually, So regularly, I always have my shaving stick. Every time I just scrape, So just because, and again, even these people that were calling me uncle, they were on trousers. And I'm on short knicker because I'm a junior student. I was a junior student. Eventually, I finished well from the school, from my secondary school. And I had JAMB. I did very well in JAMB. And I applied to study law at the University of Lagos. Then after my graduation from FGC of Lagos. So I got admissions on merit in December 2016 to study law, and the rest eventually became history because already I have finished from the university. I've also gone law school. Finished this just this year, 2025, February, from law school. And life has been okay with its ups and downs, man. Honestly, yes. Yeah.
Obviously, life has been good to you, Chikwado. You have actually taken your family out of that poverty trade. Imagine, it is you, out of all the children, right?
Yes.
Who has been able to do this. We thank God for everything. Today you are a tech consultant, and you are moving everywhere.
Yeah.
Tell us about this.
Yeah, sure. I'm currently into assistive technology. Assistive technology is part of the tech world, the tech era, everybody enjoys. But
Yeah.
this one is specific. It has to do with people who are with one disability or the other. Like somebody who is blind, like me, will be able to interact on the same degree with others on social media. Like me, I'm on WhatsApp, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, on X, and I am present anywhere, all the social media, and that was only possible because of assistive technology. And I have had some trainings outside the country regarding disability services, and that was how I learned much about assistive technology. Like, how can these people, because we cannot really do much without tech.
Yeah, sure.
Almost everything, even while I was in the university, I wrote all my exams using computer. And you can imagine a blind man operating computer very well. That was because the tech companies are now building or producing inclusive devices that anybody, regardless of ability, can use. Yes, though often at times those materials are very, very expensive because they run into thousands of dollars.
Of course, I was going to say that because a lot of
Yeah.
blind people won't be able to afford it.
Yes. Yeah, like here, I have this here. This is called Herbal One. I am currently the brand ambassador of this company here in Nigeria.
Okay.
It's a Dutch company.
Okay.
And what this thing does is that it helps blind users to navigate through their phone even faster and even type very, very fast. Like, you and I chat on WhatsApp, right?
Yes, sure.
And you see I chat very well and I respond to, when you drop a message, you'll be in a process of responding. I've written maybe 2 or 3 lines and sent to you. Yeah, it's because of this.
Okay.
And we also have our computer. We have smart care guide. We also have a highly optimal hearing aid for those who are deaf.
Okay.
We have electronic wheelchairs. If your products or your services are not designed in a particular way, the law may come after you. Whatever services we put out there is inclusive and accessible.
Is it affordable?
It's not affordable, and that's why it's not affordable. I mean, when it comes to what we are using, it's not affordable to people like us. Like someone like me, I partner with a shell company, Watersmith, to get some of these products. We just have to put up a proposal. This is what we need to be given out to social people, social users. They look at it as okay, they raise the fund, we get those devices and give it out to people that need them. This one alone is about over 300 euros. And 200 euros today is over 500,000.
Yeah, sure.
I get it. So how many of us can afford it? It's very few. And not even few, nobody.
Okay, so that's one of the things your advocacy does.
Yes.
You solicit for these things and then you give it to people who...
With assistive tech, we can be more productive. How am I going to work?
Yeah.
And I'll have to write to you or to the superior head that I need social material for me to really function in this position. And once that is made available to me, you will see that I will even perform others who have their eye, who have their hearing and all of that.
Yeah.
So because we have something that really pushes us, something that really helps us to do the same work people are doing with your eye, right? Yeah, so that's what assistive technology does.
Reasonable accommodation.
Reasonable. That is part of the reasonable accommodation. Yeah, that is the universal language.
Now, I want you to tell us about your poem, The Long Night, right? What inspired The Long Night?
I think that was in May of 2020. Very soon now, I'm going to be celebrating myself as a blind man again. And I think 2020, I was already, maybe 14 years in the blind world or thereabout. So I was very, very emotional because that morning I woke up, everywhere was dark. I felt bad within myself. I have always been a strong person, but we are human with emotions.
Oh, yes.
So I woke up, I turned on my computer and I began to write. I first titled it The Long Night, and that was how the inspiration came. I began to write. I was just nagging, But everybody who read that poem were calling me to see maybe I was trying to commit suicide.
Because this poem when they write, so we know understand.
Yeah, because it has become a long night. Because I literally see darkness, even when I'm under the sun. Unfortunately, I don't do a spoken edition words.
Okay.
Actually, that is one of the areas I flopped up. Yeah. So
And you'd have done well.
I have reached quite a lot of friends that had to do with blind people. I get to it. But when I say it, I write them, though it's for fun, but at the same time, I'm trying to have a great memory. Because if by any parameter I can get my side tomorrow, I'll say, oh, this is what I wrote when I was blind, All that I needed, I have gotten. All I need right now is long life and good health, so that I'll keep pushing. Because if you say, you want me to see, those who are seeing, how much do I have in the account? So what I'm pursuing right now is how to create an equal, accessible society for all. So people will say, Chikwado, I want you to see my face. I'll say, what is on your face?
I was going to ask, because I saw you playing with your son.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, have you ever wished you could see, is that a wish? Even if it's for 1 minute, or you can see them in the
I had always wanted to see him privately, just for a short period of time, because I don't want distraction.
Yes.
Sight is a distraction. I will not lie to you. Let me tell you, I have lost myself 17 years and still counting, because it will still continue. I still count, yes. And imagine I start saying today, what do you think will happen? I will be useless. Because all those things I had long seen.
Even now I want to see
all of them. I want to see all of them. Even my ex, I will start calling them to come back. Because I want to see them.
Tell us about your relationship.
I just love smiling, and I joke a lot. Every moment counts for me. You hardly see me at that moment, except if I'm mourning a loved one. Beside that, you don't see those things. So for my relationship, I have never been unfortunate. I have not. Yes, all I have experienced in my lifetime as a person with disability is a systemic discrimination. Not as to say, hey, you are blind, I'm not your mate, I'm not your level. No. The only discrimination I have experienced is only the one that is rooted in the system itself. When you go to a public school, the school is not accessible.
Yeah, sure.
The structures there are not accessible. You are in a class, the lecturers they don't give you accessible academic materials. Those ones are systemic discrimination, and it can only be taken away through advocacy. But when it comes to relationship, as a person, one time one woman looked at me and said, Chikwado, are you a playboy? I said, why did you ask? Because you are blind, I wanted you to be humble. I said, I am humble, but that thing you were expecting me to do, to wear pity on my face, because I define love, I don't go do it. My mom will say, are you in or not? It's simple.
Are you doing or are you not doing?
Yeah. So the woman was like, oh, this boy, you have steez. I said, what is steez? That was the first time I heard the word steez. I have a very wonderful woman, So we are there. If it's the will of Chukwu, I would. We will get married.
So what has been your lowest moment? Because no matter how you're very jovial, you're very open, you're so alive and all that, but everybody has this low moment.
Oh God! It was when I needed medical attention and there was no money. I must be sincere with you. There was no money. People were expecting the day I would die, so they would just bury me. You understand? I used to be very, very dirty. When I say somebody is dirty, I used to be very, very dirty. And I used to live on one foot. Of course, I was in the village. And at times, I wouldn't even see much. My grandmother is a very loving woman, but you can always give what you have. You cannot kill yourself in the process of saving another life. I get to me. So, but if it's about blindness, frankly speaking, before I used to miss seeing around the environment. The first time I got into the aircraft, I felt bad because I couldn't see the aircraft. I could see people around. Even today, I'll be flying from Abuja here to Lagos. I don't still know how aircraft is because I never had the opportunity to go to the airport when I was seen as a child. Those my lowest moments were actually my strength, because they were the thing that really pushed me, that inspired me to go to where I am. If I never had such moments, I'm not sure if you and I will be here today. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Say something to someone who is, or even worse than your situation.
Actually, I will have to take it to the government itself. They make their products, their services accessible. Honestly, me or other persons who are blind will not be talking about war situations. Because what we need is empowerment, and we lack such within our government system. Nobody really cares about the blind or the deaf or those who are with physical disabilities.
We can stay here, we can talk forever, but one thing I know is that you are an extreme positive person, and that has really helped you drive and your vibe. And I just wish that everybody can be like this, because it goes a long way, to make the world a better place. Happy people go extra mile to ensure that they put happiness on the faces of people. And Chikwado has been able to do this in his own way, and he is still doing it. It's still going to count. As he said, it will continue forever. What choices have you made in life? And what decisions are you making? Are you still telling yourself, are you hopeful that tomorrow it's going to be different from today? It's better you begin now to realize that this is it. And so you face it headlong and make the best out of every situation you find yourself in life. Thank you for staying with us on Against All Odds. I want to believe that someone has been inspired and lifted too, because I have been inspired and I have been lifted. Be happy. My name is Tushma Pius Ekiravi. Thank you. Bye-bye. Audio Jungle.